Greetings, greetings, one and all. It's Dr. Jonathan Ellerby live again with another hopefully life-changing lesson for you. And today's, I know I say it all the time, but today's is a whopper. It is something that has, without a doubt, changed my life 1,000 times over. And I know it's changed the lives of probably millions of people, not just because of me, but because what we're going to talk about today is something that lives at the heart of probably the most significant growing movement in human consciousness, development, wellness, and spirituality. How about that? So, before we dive in, if you haven't seen me before, you can check out my website, jonathanellerby.com. You can get a free copy of my new book, Spiritual Experience. And of course, if you like what we're doing here, follow this page, share this video. Every day, 12 o'clock, sometimes it's a little more meditative, sometimes it's a little more active, sometimes it's a surprise to me too. Let's take a breath and get ready for today's lesson. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And we're going to do that 5 times. And it doesn't even matter how you breathe. Just big breaths in, kind of like you were just trying to catch your breath after running. Really big full breath in, really exaggerated breath out. And don't let up. Keep it going. Make sure you get 5, 6, even 7 in. And then on your last breath, really long and slowly. And then we're going to practice the soft breath. So that means eyes closed, spine straight, and you're just breathing in so gently as if life itself were breathing you. And as you connect with that softness, the quietest breath in, the quietest breath out, then paying more and more attention to the stillness inside you, to the silence that you carry. And feel the way all life's stories and experiences, at least in this moment, are just a step away. We have enough space now to be a bit more objective, a bit more thoughtful, soulful, heart-centered. In this moment, we only need to observe and listen and see what we notice, see what we learn. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I know that a lot of people that watch these are people that have seen me before or take classes with me and things like that. So today's life-changing lesson isn't going to be new for them, although I think it's the kind of thing that we know about, we hear about, but it's so easy to forget, like every day, until we need it most. And the game is, I call it, everyone is enlightened except me. So you can put that in parentheses, right? Everyone is enlightened except me. And it's a very, very easy game, very easy rules, or maybe I should say simple, not easy. The idea is to pretend that everyone and everything in the universe is playing their part perfectly so that you can awaken to the fullest, most enlightened, most integrated and complete expression of yourself possible. That's it. But you see, the implications are complex and far-reaching. That means when you play the game, nobody's wrong. There's no side to choose. Even the people that frustrate you the most, challenge you the most, anger, hurt you the most, are playing their part because somehow it is designed to awaken something in you, to summon something in you, to evoke, invite, point out something in you. Now, when we hear this, in some ways, the first response is almost too quick and easy. Oh, I get it. Learn from everything. Yeah, that's the heart of the message. Learn from everything. But if you play the game, and it's helpful to think of it as a game, if you play the game as if it were absolutely true, then there's a lot of things implied that many of us don't consider. Now, first of all, let's stress the significance of this being a game. We're all capable of playing games, whether it's checkers or go fish or poker or basketball or, I don't know, canasta. Generally, when we play a game, we understand that it's okay to enter into a kind of temporary reality, or, you might say, to suspend ordinary reality. What does that mean? Well, what it means is that, for example, if you're playing checkers, you're trying to beat your opponent. You're trying to, kill their pieces, take them off the board. But you both know that that's not really happening. You're not really beating them. You're not necessarily a better person. You're just working within the rules of the game and giving yourself to that game. In professional sports, for example, for the most part, we see a great camaraderie between athletes on different teams. When they play fiercely. They play to win. But there's another reality in which they understand that they're all a part of an association. They're all a part of a game. So there's game on consciousness and there's game off. Now, the reason why this is important is there are a lot of things you indulge in when you are not playing the game of everyone's enlightened, that are not allowed in the game. So let's go through some of those because they are critical to the success of this adventure for you. The first is, there really isn't a lot of value in judging, analyzing, or trying to control what other people are doing. Now, it doesn't mean that as you play the game, you can't take a stand. You have to tolerate terrible things. No, that's not it. But it comes from a place of self-expression and connection to the highest lessons available to you. It doesn't come from a place of judgment, control, manipulation, or againstness. Because remember, in the game, they're actually on your side. The second thing you want to remember when you're playing this game is that the game in consciousness does not allow you to judge yourself either. Now, again, when you're not playing the game in the ordinary world, sure, we criticize ourselves, we judge ourselves, we question ourselves. Not allowed in the game. In this game, when you're playing, you focus on the opportunity. What is it you can learn? And there's really no time in games to spend a lot of time looking back unless it helps in making a good choice in the moment. So if you're going to learn about your childhood, if you're going to learn about your triggers, learn about your inner world, great. Blame your childhood, blame your triggers, not make a move because you're busy analyzing, not great. So the next thing that we want to remind you, we have a few indirect rules or implied rules, is that you actually can't make a wrong choice either. So the focus is really on inner growth, self-knowledge, and evolving the whole self. Which means that if you do something terrible, okay, we need to learn, and hopefully the conclusion is not to do it again. But as these mistakes and imbalances occur, what they're actually allowing us to do is understand ourselves better. What's going on in the unconscious world, the subconscious world? What is it that I do when I'm tired, stressed, lazy, desperate, not thinking? And do those things serve the ultimate purpose of this game? To grow and to learn from absolutely everything. You see, the final point that I want to make about this game is that not only are we committed to look for the lessons in every single moment, but we are also really discovering ourselves. What the moment does is serve as a mirror, an opportunity to see things, own things, and reclaim things in ourselves that we haven't previously fully integrated. The game is everyone is enlightened except me. And the way we play is to hold all of life's experiences with spaciousness, some compassion, and ultimately curiosity, the willingness to learn, listen, love, and let go in every single moment of every single day. That is a difficult game to play. But if you think of it as a game, and if you work at it, let's just say for a week, just for a week, commit to it every day. Write it on pieces of paper, stick it on your bathroom mirror, put it beside your bed. There are no exceptions to the game. So you don't get to just learn from the people you like, the people that annoy you, the people that trigger you. Whatever arises is not about them. It's your opportunity. It doesn't matter if you don't like what they said or did. That's not the game. The game is if they were playing their part perfectly as an angel, a saint, a spirit, a guide. Why? Why did they act like that? Choose like that? And what are they seeking to bring forward in you? Last thing I want to touch on before we close is that ultimately one of the main mistakes in playing this game is to assume that if we play it well and we grow enough, at some point we will never, it's a big word, never react or be sad or angry or out of balance again. That's actually not in the game. Now, hopefully you'll discover this for yourself, but I want to give you this one last tip, because this is typically what causes people to stop playing. They feel like if they can't play perfectly, if they can't get to a place where the game shows perfect results, they're going to stop playing. But you see, it's an evolving game. It's what they call an infinite game. There's no real end to it, and the situations are always changing. Sometimes the lesson that you're going to get when you deal with difficult situations and people is that it's okay to not feel good about it. It's okay to not always have the answers. Sometimes learning isn't just about discovering how to master a situation. Sometimes it's about learning how to acknowledge and release a situation. Some things just aren't worth the time, and some experiences we have only need our compassion, our presence, and our willingness to feel. So we're out of time. Thank you for being with me today. Whether you heard this live or whether you heard this recorded, there's no question that this is a simple rule I try to live by. And if I had a penny for every time it made a difference in my life, I'd probably be broadcasting live from a boat in the Caribbean. So with that in mind, have a beautiful day, enjoy the game, and I'll see you soon.